now one of a number. You're my number, we will become my wife. We run them down, we run them down. Tell me get together. Now I'm so long, now one of a number. Now a number, take out Kutuala, take out Kufimba, take out Kusumola. Every girl we run tonight. Give me mama side, you was stuck with me. Girl, if I'm not feeling inside, you know mama side, yeah. If I'm putting my son up, then we're not strong. Oh, yeah. If I'm putting my son up, then we're not strong. Oh, yeah. Give me one thing, it's got you in my life, you know. She done a lot for me, so I do this simple thing for her. Now she give me one, you know. It's a time when I'm hurt, baby. What the hell? Okay, man. Yeah, we're another style. Okay, man. I woke up feeling good. I don't know why, but I'm feeling so like I want to hold food. I'm not gonna put on a t-shirt today. Feel like it's guitar today. I make her smile, I make her laugh. I make her dance, I make her wine. Feel like getting on up to me, God. Feel like touching on dance to me, God. I'll make you want, babe. I'll make you smile, I'll make you feel like that. After that, I'll take you to my place where we will play, or before we play. Yes, good morning, my people. How are you today? Mwasuze Mutia, Muyombia Mazas, David Klaje, VIP, Keith Starch Event, Paul Sema Louis, Collins Thomas Majwala, Julius, George Senkubuge, Nabali Mukamori. I hope the network is treating you better today. Network I've permanently switched to the other network, network, to see if it treats us better. Guys, last week, a prominent person died. Okay, a son of a prominent person died, which basically made him prominent. Govaita Cedric Babu, and there was an air of positivity, air of negativity. Was no air of sorrow. There was no air of its sadness. It seemed like people were celebrating the death of Cedric. And we have had a lot of people die, especially the people that are from government, and sometimes people that are related to government officials die, and then people celebrate. And it's like people are happy that the people in power or the people in government are losing their loved ones. And when we go to TikTok, for example, last week still we were talking about how TikTok is full of people that have a lot of negativity, a lot of negative energy. They have a lot of negative comments and stuff like that. And there's one thing that I've learned about the YouTube audience and the TikTok audience. The TikTok audience is everyone. And by everyone, I mean some of you guys are on TikTok as well. But there is a class of people that are on TikTok, because TikTok as an app is very easy to use. It's very user-friendly. Commenting is easy, liking is easy, sharing is easy, posting is easy, following is easy. It's just too easy to use TikTok. And people have gotten too comfortable using TikTok and kind of like speaking out on TikTok more than any other platform. Facebook used to be the same. and Facebook was blocked in 2021. And then that gave rise to TikTok, because had Facebook not been blocked, it would not give a rise. It would not give rise to TikTok, because Facebook was too powerful. It's still too powerful again. So it's very easy for people to relate on TikTok and tell others what they think, whether in video or in text. TikTok is not discriminative. Anyone can start a page and anyone can create content. So TikTok survives by enabling user-generated content to thrive. I think the same thing happens with X or Twitter, but we see a lot of negativity. What is happening to our country that we celebrate the sad news of other people? And it's government officials, yes, but we see this happening in other things as well. We have seen people post their sadness. We live in a world where it's very hard to know which person you should share your sad moments with or bad news with, and they will keep it quiet as a secret. So you tell people your secret and it will be out. So people have adjusted. Now they no longer keep secrets. They go to TikTok and whatever they are going through, they do a video about it. And some people do it to get sympathy. Other people just do it because they can. So, because apparently, even if you don't, the world will put it out there. Someone will put it out there. So people just put it out there. And you've seen people that shared the sad things going on in their lives, and people mocked them. Like, it almost seems like people are sad. It almost seems like people don't have empathy anymore. So what do you guys think is happening? Good morning, Carota, Ronald Muchwa, D. David Zembatia. Good morning. What do you guys think is happening to us? It's almost like in the past. It used to happen in the past too, but it was just not in the open. Let me give you an example. Someone gets an accident here, and we would expect that people would come to help them get out of that situation. But when people come to sort of help, the first thing they're going to do is to take their belongings. They first take the phone, they take the money, and we know that's literally what they're going to do. They're not going to do anything else. One person will come out of that thing and say, "Omuntu na afude, omuntu na accident, abantu munonyeko." But the rest of the people will be busy taking the person's belongings, and that happens everywhere. You get it? So, but it wasn't on social media. What is happening right now is that those things are happening, and we are seeing them on social media. People used to mock others, but because there was no social media, they used to mock in private or with a bunch of people in private. Now, people will backbite you on social media. Is it that we have a sad generation? And someone was saying that it was nice for Honorable Muhammad Nsereko to bring the Computer Misuse Act. Why? Because people mock dead people or people that have lost their loved ones, and that the Computer Misuse Act should deal with them. But you see, there is also one thing that I've realized. Like, for example, when the late Cedric was pronounced, so a lot of people playing, a lot of people sort of like have an air of celebration. And we saw a lot of people protesting the celebration. But you see, when you start looking at the accounts, like this happens a lot on X. When you start looking at the accounts of people that are presumably happy about the death of a government official or the government official's relative, or these people are not doing very well off. As a matter of fact, they are not connected at all to the person that died or the person that lost their loved ones. So in a way, for them to celebrate, they are disconnected from these people, and they know a thing or two about them, and they know that these people were very privileged and stuff like that. And then when you look at the people that are saying, hey, you have no right to celebrate, Just be empathetic, be human, blah, 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 and stuff like that. When you look at these two accounts, the account that is celebrating the loss is an account of someone that is not very okay with the status quo. And the account of someone that is saying, where is your humanity, is an account of someone that is, presumably, I want to presume, benefiting from the status quo. And it so happens that, let me give you an example. If a minister lost a child, the person in Zambia who is not related to the minister, or people related to the minister all in Zambia, some of them will celebrate. And when you look at the responses of people that are saying, you people are bad, how do you celebrate? It's people in Kololo, or people that are related to the minister, or people that work for the minister. You get what I'm saying? We have been divided so badly. You get? We have been divided so badly that the people down here, abantu bawansi bawuliranga bali abandoned. But then the question also is, does that warrant the celebration that we always see when a government official loses a loved one, or the government official dies themselves? Or you guys have seen people that mock former speaker, Honorable Kadaga, and how she looks. She's old, she's really old, and it looks like she's really sick. You get? And people are saying, oh no, now look at her. We have seen people mocking Honorable Amama Mbabazi because of his health condition and stuff. You get? But this started way back. This started with people saying, oyo mugaga tagura gate ye, kati ne bwana afune ebizibu tagizana gura oti tujja kugenda yo. These things have been happening. It's just they were not happening on social media. You get? It's a mixture of many things. Some people gain happiness from other people's sad days because they think those people are the source of their mischievous lives. Others feed on negativity to feel better. Are there people that feed on negativity? Or they just feed every time someone else is sad and they are happy, they think? Or do just people think, are there just some people that think that as long as other people are and I'm happy, life is good, and as long as other people are happy and I'm also happy, life is air, and then as long as I'm sad and other people are happy, then life is bad? Is that what is happening? But at the end of the day, it's not worth it, because for sure no one will make it alive. Yeah, but then the thing is, yesterday I was on Twitter. I'll continue calling it Twitter. Yesterday I was on Twitter, and you see that the thing that happens is here. For example, if you went on Twitter, guys, and started seeing the comments, for example, this gentleman, former police person, Hassan Kasinji. Hassan Kasinji came out and said people should not be celebrating the death of Cedric Babu and a bunch of other things. And he said exactly something close to what Kate has said: no one will make it out alive. But then people came out and said, you're talking about Cedric, but there are other people that have been treated badly. Like someone is saying, why would you mock? He was saying, why would you mock the death of Cedric? And then people came out and said, but there are other people that have been dying and they have been mistreated. You never said anything. Why are you saying something about Cedric? Do you guys realize that it feels like the people that have a voice, as long as they are connected to power, never say anything when some things that are actually very, very bad are done? Yeah? But then they come out to complain when people celebrate the death of some of the people in power. There's that one as well. When from Zambia celebrates the death of a government official, is that worse than a government official keeping quiet when a person from Zambia is mistreated by someone from police, or when someone in power keeps quiet When someone from in power keeps quiet, when injustices are being done on a common person from Zambia, is it worse or they are both equal? You know, there's something I've always been asking. I've asked plenty of pastors this question. Every time a pastor tries to get me to kind of get saved, I'll ask them the same question. And nobody has ever been able to answer me to my satisfaction. I normally ask the question, if Arthur steals a pen and takes it and doesn't repent, but then there is another person, let's say called Arthur again, who kills his neighbor, and the neighbor dies, leaving their family behind. But then that Arthur that has killed the person repents. Who's going to heaven? Or better still, let's say Arthur, who is doing well, who is doing good to the neighbors, treating people well, yeah, doesn't get saved. And then there is this other person that is killing people constantly. But then this other person, killing people, he comes out and pronounces and says, I am saved. I choose Jesus as my personal savior. And then I normally ask the pastors, who goes to heaven? And normally the pastor tells me, it doesn't matter how good you are as a human being, just saved, you'll go to hell. And then the pastor tells me, it doesn't matter how evil you are, as long as you say Jesus is the way, the blah, 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 and stuff like that, you're going to heaven. And then they say that the killer who says I am saved is a better human being than a good person who doesn't say I am saved. And that, for me, is where I draw the line. I don't want to be in a heaven where killers are. I'd rather be in a hell where good people are, because I know these good people will treat me better in hell than how the bad people will treat me in heaven. I've always said that, and normally when I ask pastors that question, they stop talking. They just walk away. You get, because even to them it doesn't make sense. Good morning, Ayewa the Almond Brian. I'm home today. I'm not battling jam, but there is no jam. Good morning, Akiram Karigida Amosru. My concern is with these influencers on X who speak whatever comes to their mind without controlling their actions, is that they think that their lives are in a vacuum, but they are young. Today I'm late. Good morning, Nabasa Stewart. How are you? Raiwa. It's because people feel this top government official refuses to talk about the health services. They keep praising the government should not change. And Raiwa, it's a very valid thing. Eh? I'll give you an example. The late Cedric, God rest his soul, died because he needed a transplant, which led him to needing $1 billion. The transplant done locally would be cheaper. And someone posted on Twitter again and said, Molago Hospital needs about 700, I think 700 billion. Is it 700 billion? 700 million. To start transplant, you know, they need a transplant council and they need funding for that. And the transplant council basically is the council that decides when transplants should happen, who should get a transplant, which facilities qualified to start doing transplants, like liver transplants and all that. Because we have people that can actually perform the transplants here. We have doctors and surgeons that can do those things. But we need a transplant council. It doesn't, like doing a transplant is not something that is decided like your leg is broken, just go to a doctor and do it. So they need a transplant council, but they need funding for that. And government is keeping saying they don't have money. However, they are going to give the Mufti, is he still the Mufti Mubaji? That guy, they're giving him about 14 billion. They're giving the guy 14 billion to pay his debts. And here is a person that died because he needed $1 billion shillings to go do transplant. It will never get to $1 billion in locally here. It would never. You get, but the government hasn't been able to fund the transplant council. And these are things that people keep quiet about. So I find that what Raiwa is saying is true. And guys, I know that this live broadcast is watched by people in offices, people that are big. I know you guys watch this broadcast. And for me, I find that I know that when young people come out and celebrate the death of a government official or their children, it really feels bad for someone to celebrate your death. But then the thing that we need to be asking ourselves is, why have they started celebrating the death of my children, or why is there a celebration in any way? I find that that's one thing we need to ask ourselves before we start blaming these kids, because most of them are Gen Zs, yeah. And the thing about a person, and I was telling this relative of mine the bad things that they do, and people like Abantu Bedda, the people that came before millennials are not used to people telling them that they are bad or they are doing anything bad. So when I told this person, they got really angry. And then I was telling them, but your kids are Gen Zs. I say it like this, but when your kids start talking, you might even kill yourself. Gen Z, these kids about Gen Z, they will tell you, and they will not care. The generation born from 1997, those are the kids that will abandon their parents and go away. Millennials baswala ko abeera waawo n'akubeererawo ko, but Gen Zs will just walk away. Tebajja kufaako. You get it? You guys should work hard and live on the other side of life. Otherwise, they will stay with bitterness in their hearts. Ivan Namanda, Julia Sengoba, yes, Babirie, Barbara, good morning. Victor Blyce. Arthur, some people have unmet expectations, so they tend to express their frustrations on social media to feel better. But we have to pray for our country. Baba, guys, we are in a dangerous spot as a country. We are in a position where we are at a place where we are divided. There are people that are going to continue feeling that they are abandoned. Have you seen a child that feels they're abandoned? I went to school with kids that had their parents, to school with kids that had their dad alive, and their dad was seemingly not doing very well financially. The kids could not understand that. You get, and the kids were angry with their dad. I've seen that. And because I saw kids that were angry with their parents, yeah, Nzenga Arthur, I decided I will have a very small number of children. Sagala bana bange kunchawa, because I cannot provide. And every time a parent has a lot of kids, they cannot provide effectively for all of them. And when they cannot provide effectively for all of them, you realize that some of the kids will hate their parents. I think we have the similar situation with government and government officials here in Uganda. The Arthur, I'm not in government, I'm not in politics. I expect the government to do certain things for me. I expect the government to to provide cancer medication at the Mulago Cancer Institute. Yeah. When the government fails to do that, I get angry. And when I lose my people to cancer, the government doesn't apologize. For years, it doesn't do anything. So when a government official who is in charge of making sure there are cancer drugs in that hospital loses their children to cancer, even when they had the ability to take them abroad, yeah, I might actually end up celebrating the death of that child. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. Stole money, gets sick, and this person ends up getting treatment in Ukraine instead of getting treatment from Uganda, when I know the only thing they needed to do was make sure the doctors are paid well so that they don't go start working in the US. And that person goes abroad and dies from there. I think it's completely natural to see me react in a way that will make you feel like I'm celebrating. Sawa ya queen wafuka tugende tuyiteri olaba. Iro sawa ya queen wafu. If this side will work out better. I have to run today. It's 8:12. I'm late. I'm very late. Arthur, if you don't agree with someone in power, it's very possible to be taken in basement. MD, exactly. That's one of the reasons why the kids are angry. You get that if you don't agree with people in power, you can get abducted. You get what I'm saying? And it's not fair. We all know it's not fair. It's not fair. Like we should have, if I've done something wrong, Nzenga Arthur, I should be charged, yeah, and taken to court, not to a basement. And people, why these kids are complaining, or why these people on Twitter and TikTok are complaining, is that when Arthur gets taken to the basement because he has said something that annoyed someone, you guys are quiet. But when someone that is related to Arthur celebrates the death of a government official or a government official's relative, all of a sudden you're encroaching on the rights of the government official. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. Like if someone, for example, are taken to the basement, talk about it. So that when Arthur's people celebrate the death of a government official, yeah, when you talk about it, doesn't seem like you're siding with the government official. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. It's something for us to think about. Bosara woku sirika, sirikira ddala. Bosara woku ogera, yogera ku side zonna. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. If you have decided to be neutral, you be neutral. Don't pretend to be neutral when you're actually siding with one side. And that's one thing that is making people furious. Thank you very much. They should find out why people are celebrating death instead of condemning the people for their action. Exactly. Going to heaven is for those who have genuinely accepted Christ as their Lord and Savior, and this will transform his or her actions towards everyone. All sins are equal before God. All sins are equal. That's something I disagree with. That's something I disagree with, because if all sins, guys, stealing a pencil cannot be equal to killing a person. It can't. It has never been. Stealing a pencil cannot be equal to killing a person. I disagree with that. Do you know how much it takes to kill a person? How much hate? Guys. Namanda. Huntington, good morning. Ronald M. Cassandra VIP, good morning. Problem ya government yafe. As long as themselves are okay. Exactly. In one way or another, for different reasons, people are bitter. Imagine people who are tortured on a daily basis. Imagine the amount of money swindled by a few swindlers. Exactly. Man, tomorrow Uganda is so worrying. Imagine the government to pay someone's personal billion loan, but we are almost lacking everything in the country. Exactly. Kugambi. The more parents get strict to their children, the more children become Kardashians. Good morning, Council Patrick. Kasiku Travel Live Vlog. Chika Wariki. Sins can't be equal. Good morning, Arthur. Good morning, Henry Modern Jews. Those in government know the causes of the problems and anger, but they just don't care. Exactly. The issue is when people that are not in power continue defending these people in power. Ontegei, right? And Namanda, sins can never be equal. They have never been equal. You cannot tell me nti Arthur akubi omuntu oluyi n'omuntu afumisa omuntu ekiso mukatonda abana bakyenkanyi. We need someone that has talked to God personally. Sins can never be equal. You see, when they say sins are equal, you're trying to cripple people that are doing small sins, while making people that are doing the big sins feel like, oh, you have killed someone. But it's the same as someone that stole a pencil. No. Sins cannot be equal. Anyway, guys, are we losing humanity? Are we losing humanity? It doesn't seem right to celebrate the death of another person. But guys, to them mazima, ngatuze mazima. If someone killed a relative of yours and then they lost a relative of theirs, would you feel sad? Nga tuze mazima muntu nulire kino ekibuzo nkibabuze nga muntu nulire. I'll ask you. If someone killed a relative of yours and there is nothing happened to them, there is no justice for you and stuff, and then they also lose a relative, would you be sad for them? Because if we don't have these discussions, the moment we ignore this, that's where everything starts. Nti Arthur say azenata mama wo. Mama wa Arthur bwafa. Onakuwala nogera nomugamba nga kitalo oba omutima gwo gusanyuka muno ga kale. Naye afiiriddwa. Nga tuzze mazima. Without us being politically correct, the Bible says this, without us trying to say, how will the world see me? If someone killed your mother and their mother dies the next week, wouldn't you feel like justice is served? In the Catholic Church, when you go to a priest to repent, I noticed in case a condens, a big sin to him, he will tell you to say more prayers than the one who comes with this, a lighter confession. Yeah, we are not losing humanity. We are just oppressed, and we vent on the oppressors. Bad days. Aha. Buli omu wa kuchiro zako. As that's David Clergy, government officials don't care about Uganda and the future of Uganda, but get personal and emotion when it's their relative or family member. Munzire mbanangi. If someone kills, okay, if someone steals your car, because I want us to imagine, let's just put it in perspective until the government officials are making bigger losses than us. Let's just imagine someone steals your car and the next week their house burns down. Do you feel bad that their house has burned down? Don't be politically correct. Be raw. Be Ramuntu. Be the Viking. Bring out the Viking in you and tell me, if someone steals your car or let's say someone burns your car and the next week their house burns down, would you feel bad for them? Or would you feel like, oh, finally God is coming? Because I don't believe in karma. I actually believe that if someone does bad to me, I will do bad to them. I can do revenge. I can definitely do revenge. Just sinafuna chintu chinde tizakola revenge ku muntu. Bwe ndichifuna ndijikola. That's the one thing I know. Ndijikola. Why not celebrate? Because karma has given me justice. Exactly, Chambe. Of course you would feel good. Kati guys, if Gwengo muntu, someone kills your mother and their mother dies the next week, you would feel good. What makes you people think that the government officials that are stealing medicine money, the government officials that are openly arrogant, when asked watching Marayo Dagara, and they would say blah blah funny things, when the same government that cannot approve the transplant council, because transplant is also tugenda zisasulira, but the transplant council should be funded by the government. It's literally part of the government. Why do you think that because of your mvubuko mulabo simu mvubuka, he was old, he was 50 years, that the late Cedric senga transplant here, but this will call it Kampala. But the transplant cannot be done in Kampala because there is no transplant council. I don't know, is it 700 million, 700 billion? They need just it's a small price to pay for us to be able to do transplants effectively. You saw when the judge, she came out in church when her husband died and she said, you know what, we were touring hospitals, we went to the most expensive one, then we could not afford it, we went to Zambia, which we thought we could afford. Then even in Zambia, we realized that we could not afford in Zambia as well. So we went to Mulago Hospital, and Mulago Hospital is bad. Like, it's bad. But you have seen government officials tell us, Mugende Mulago buli kimu gye kiri. Right? And you guys have seen people celebrate, but no one celebrated Mulyagonja's husband's death. Why? Because she came out and addressed something that people should be addressing, but they never address. Arthur ekyo kiraga nkwata mbi abadde atigomya abantu era naye awoloma asaba taasa bulamu omuntu bw'aba akulumya yeerabira nti kisoboka okumutuukako. It's a no for me. I can't feel sorry. Good morning, Bart Arthur. I celebrate like never before. It was 1.5 billion. Ekitegeeza bali beetaaga miliyoni 7 aba transplant council. Ate ekyo kiringa omubbi abadde atigomya abantu era naye awoloma asaba taasa obulamu omuntu bw'aba akulumya yeerabya. Okay, yes. In fact, the health sector alone in Uganda, I only see death. I don't know how I even survived. No medicine, no hospitals, kwegamba. In fact, Katonda yeetaaga n'aleeta amataba bazimbe akamu entebe bafe babeewo. You see what Starch is doing there? He's not even direct, but we all know what he's talking about. You get it? We have reached a point. Banange jamu wa leero kyokka ndabika ina inspection naye nina okudduka. Kyokka ate I have another meeting ku Makeera. Obwongo buli mu kutambula. Onoonya ky'ozzaako nga tokiraba. Wali naalibadde empita wali n'engata wali ne kati wali olina ovuga paka Kibuye n'omalayo. Bw'omalayo ne weetooloola bw'oti. Kale, nsooke tulabe kino.
gonna go down, so don't wait, don't waste, don't take for granted. Let's use what we've been handed, even if you don't understand it. Like the sickness, just take your money, figure it out, turn it on. Now, so you know the language. Yeah, you gotta step into the
So guys, you're definitely asking yourself, Arthur, what are you doing? I'm trying my chances. I'm trying my chances elsewhere. Like I have to run. Like I have to run. I also have to do all the other things. How am I going to do those other things if I don't do my first activity of the day? Like if I get stuck in jam for like an hour, if I can use that hour to go around, why not go around? Why don't the footbridge? I guess there's a population this side. Hey, but the man no wakute. Te wakute. But the so if I can use the 1 hour to go around, why not go around? Our traffic, our police, so guys, I know that there are guys that you guys, some of you guys are civil servants. You guys watch this broadcast, and I also know that when life is going very well for us, we forget that there is a time for us to be sad, that there is a time for us to make a loss. We normally forget about that. But it's important that you guys always remember that obulamwe tebuli predictable. And they normally tell us, someone said that all sins are equal to God. Sins can never be equal. They can't. You cannot say that the stealing a pencil is equal to killing a person because they are both bad things. And in the same spirit, it is important for us to remember that there are people that are making millions of people suffer because they have the power to do that. There are people that are making families suffer. So when they themselves get to a point where they suffer and then these families celebrate, then they feel these families are actually very bad. We need to boxing ourselves in the chest. Tulina okwekuba mu kifuba ng'abantu kangene mpite wali nga tempite kaba ku lubiri. And I think kati bwensanga jjamu nga muyiti, this is what I'm going to do. Kusinga okwebonyaabonya ne dunia. Guys, we need to think that our actions, because our actions are definitely going to affect people. Yeah, whatever you do affects a number of people or a group of people. It affects families, it affects individuals. This is Muganzirwaza, this place here. The things that you do affect individuals, it affects families, it affects groups of people. And once you understand that the things that you do affect these people, you're going to be careful whatever you do. At waliwo abatamanyi kigenda maaso kandabe bwempita wano ngende nga tewali. This is the Rubiri that you people hear us talking about, the palace, Kabaka's palace eyo mu kibuga wakati, and this road that I am on is called Ring Road. Henry Modern Juice ndi matwale go Henry. So this is called the Ring Road. Why is it called the Ring Road? Because it goes round like a ring. No, about a ring road because it goes round, yeah. Guys, by the way, okwebulirira kintu kikulu nnyo. Normally, the poor people or the people that are being oppressed or the people that are definitely going through the tough times most of the times, and it has happened from homes where the kids can be beaten by their parents and the kids are not allowed to say anything, they're not allowed to complain because they are kids. And the moment the parents go through tough moments, for example, a parent will oppress the child until the child is 18. And when the child turns 18 and they can get out of their home, they'll get out of that home and never return. And then the parent will get sick, and then they will want the child to come back, and the child will refuse. And then the parent will start asking, saying the child is bad, I looked after them, not remembering that while you were looking after that child, you oppressed them, you beat them, you abused them. So the parent will forget, like that's not a motorcycle. The thing that happens with this, you take a shortcut as long as you have not studied the environment. So guys, even as a parent, treat your kids the way you would want to be treated. Don't abuse them. Don't like, if you don't want to be lied to, why are you lying? I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Because when they lie to you, you'll feel bad. So why are you lying? Map. So this is another place for the people that don't know. This another place is the Kabaka's Palace as well. Let me see. And then inside the Rubiri, there is a Rubiri High School. Rubiri High School has 2 branches. There was one branch on Mitiana Road, and then there is a branch that is in the actual palace. Now, one what's money weba itao? That's the fact. Some people made others suffer in the name of land. It's a very bad thing when you oppress other people trying to prepare for your people. When the time for those oppressed people to react comes, don't feel bad. Which take it, right? Mr. Arthur, if it wasn't for my 2 uncles in Iceland and America to intervene, because they connected to Bazungu, who are coming to UG to treat heavy illnesses, my dad would have been dead, almost 30 million spent. We need a very good healthcare system, by the way, guys. We need a good healthcare system. Me, I'm an advocate of having young people get into politics. Politics. I'm thinking people that have been exposed should enter politics. Omuntu atavanga ko Uganda kululwe nga agenze kukola mirimu je nga atabo yave Kampala na government siye kutute kuba, because when the government takes you to places they take you to the places they want you to see, they take you to the conferences, but when gongo genze kubibyo, you see things and admire and want to bring those things to your country. You get? So me, I'm an advocate of having young people that are exposed go to parliament, join politics, become ministers, because I'm thinking they will make a positive change. And I'm not looking at, I don't want kids of former ministers or kids of presidents getting into power. They are out of touch with reality, because a kid that has been in a minister's house for 30 years, they don't even know how to buy fuel. Because most minister kids, the president's kids or former president's kids, are spoiled brats. They are spoiled. They don't even know the first thing about surviving in Uganda. They have been buying clothes using money from government. They have never paid for hospital bills. They have never bought fuel. They have never, God knows, they have never even bought cars. That's the thing that is with government officials' kids. They are spoiled. Tebamanyi. Omwana akuzenga bazadde be oba baliko mu government yedda ne bavaayo nadda in normal life. Oyo omwana yamanyi what it takes. The kids that go to school with pocket money of 1 million, nga ne ku video bagenda kujja bamwongere million nga 2 oba 3. You have seen it. Kids going to school with 20 million pocket money. Oyo omwana, he's out of touch with reality. Those are not the people that I want to. I want the normal people to get into politics. When the normal people get into politics, we'll see changes. Arthur, you sound like a noob supporter. Will police give you clearance for our convention on 30th? Am I a noob? I sound like a noob supporter. Noob supporters bakola batya. Nathan 256. How do noob supporters sound? Nkugamba means in Uganda hospitals I see death awaiting because I don't trust them. No one omuzungu akugamba ekikuluma, they treat you and you recover. No one recovering. Our doctors are good guys. Some people make others suffer. Nathan, I want you to educate me. Nizo okuba siri educated bulungi. Abantu banupu basoundinga batya. Njagala kuyiga so that I don't sound like them. I am also asking myself, because it has brought that to me, that's to my attention, that I sound like a noob supporter. I don't know how noob supporters sound, so I would like for him to educate me how they sound. And Amos, maybe he can also inform us if the convention is a political rally. I was in senior for that. Muzei was directing police here. So guys, Nathan, as you educate me how noob supporters sound, I want us to think about how we treat other people. Let it be in our families, let it be in our businesses, let it be in our workplaces. Whether it's business, how you treat other people, will directly come back to you. It will directly come back to you. And when it comes back to you, you will not know. Ojja kuba expecting. You will not expect it when it comes. When it hits you, you get. When it hits you. But I find that we have habari mukwata ba border no kirabika wano. Baga wali mukwata ba border. Msajja wa Kaspasi avudde no papa. Ekimuvumya kiri kimu. They stopped him for people to cross and he wanted to knock them. You get, so this guy is abusing him. Tadila mu move makali. Wanano waliwo ababodo babe tomedde. Something has happened. I could swear I passed here a few weeks ago to get an inspection and this thing was not here. That's all. Good morning, Martin Were. Trust is truth. When you don't have money, people expect certain moral standards, and when you have money, people praise you. Arthur, have you ever stayed in Mitiana? No. But I went to school in Mitiana. My high school, in my entire secondary school life, nasomera Mitiana. Katugenze bakuli. Atatugenda tuka bakuli tukilaita old Kampala. So start you asking drone yagala ya courage. The drone for what? Guys, you see the kind of sometimes when I get statements like Nge ya Nathan statement ya Nathan, then they start drone yagala ya courage. Chichenjo get down. Echiresa drone. You see the thing that is happening, I thought we were talking about something really positive, yeah? I thought we were talking about something that is positive, that makes us better human beings. But somehow I find that Nathan saw it negatively. And then starch na alabanti why is okuba drone yao guys. Kamba sibule. Kamba sibule ensi ya fejera kasimanyi yo. Like we cannot talk about stuff soberly. Noob supporters bagala boogera ku biruma abantu n'ebitatambula No, it's not talk about those things. It's people that know what is going on, and they think people that know that this should be a better place, that Uganda can be a better place, are the people that talk about. That's what I'm thinking. Every political party rallies young people to join politics. Show me that calls for elderly. Guys, kambasibule. I actually don't think that when we talk about the things that are not going very well, it should be seen in a political way. It's political, definitely, but I don't think that hey guys, musibe bulungi. Muyombia Max, as David Traje, VIP, Keith, Starch Events, Paul Sema, Louis, Collins, Thomas, Majwala, Julius, George Senkubuge, Ronald Mucho, Karota, Uganda, David Sembacha, MD, Akiram, Ayevare Balamoy, Brian, Davis Muwezi, Karegide Amos Rook, Nabasa, Stewart Raiwa, Victor Bolaise, Babidi Barbara, Ivan Namanda, Chamba de Hannington, Travel Live Local, Patrick Asiku, Ronald M. Kasendwa, Chika Wariki, Henry Modern Juice, Bart Arthur, Kati wanondobi mbade nyina kwetolola wali. Ate wana abasajja we bali wano tosola malaga gakyukirawo wano. Naye wali eri wansenga neetolola ate senga ndi wala. Naye watambula tambula. Aha. You people joke a lot. These people, including MPs, are just working for their stomach. Where I come from, coffee has just from 15,000 in a few months after coffee bill. Are you sure? Every parent's duty to raise children right, so that when they lose a husband, some child has lost a father, a sibling has lost a brother, and a parent lost a child. Have some humanity. Broadcast. I don't take you for granted, guys, and I'd like to remind you that 30th August we are going to be convention, Love for Cars convention, Bad Valley Theatre. It's just for us to come together and learn and network and see service providers and stuff like that. We will launch our magazine as well, Historical Norman. Enebuwama omuzaalisa yagambye munnange nti omwana talina mazzi era ne tudduka emmengo ebyo ne batugamba tuli fine singa twalemedde mu kyalo twabadde ku kiso Arthur atidde drone naye nga tuyina okubyogerako ssebo nedda sitidde drone Henry Modern Juice and by the way guys nze nga Arthur drone yonga yo sigitya because there is no reason to warrant it. Ekintu Arthur ne Henry we tuliye ebintu tubiraba, but the moment we talk about these things Henry yasooka okugamba Arthur tukunone obaba kunone oyogerako byaki. I don't like the environment. Nze nga Arthur I feel like in a country where people are exposed, people should be able to talk about the things that are not going very well and not be penalized for it. Ontegeera kye nkugamba kyekyo kye nagamba nti the day I feel like Uganda eganye bwe ndifuluma sidda, and I find that nze ekifo kya drone okunnona bangambe bugambi gwe mvubuka fuluma eggwanga lyaffe. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. Naye kati ne wano wansi nawo wakwatiridde katugende twetolwe tunetolwa wajja tambula okusinga awo mulaba bwe netolodde kudduka kajjamu kaya tabali mu kajjamu baleka bakyali kati bwe mpita wano katulabe tumale yali wansoba tuyite wano waliwo abayingira mu paaka eno teri bayingira mu paaka katuyite wano And I was talking to someone nambuza ne ngatuvuga nambuza ne atangoma nyama ku manji. Like some of these roads I learned them when I was at campus because nabedanga ku campus nga sina nnyo sente za mafuta. Kati ngo ino okutetenkanya tufuto tono twolina toli mujamu amafuta gagenda manji. Olaba nzo okwetula ku North Road amafuta nkweseza matono okusinga omuntu asigadde mu jam for an hour. Matono amafuta agali mu jam naddala kati fawavuga SC gaba gagenda mayitirivu. Naye nga ate bwe weetoolola amafuta gaba gagenda matono. WAMV Tech. Munange guys, Henry and the people that think like Henry, Arthur Nzenga, Arthur Sicha drone chiriao. I'm actually nzigwambu gwemanyi bwendaba nga we have been pushed to the point where we cannot talk about the things that are bad without being victimized. Like ojano gamba emodoka yeri mu mbeera mbi ne bagamba gwokyogera because oli waawali. You get kati yafuuka mpalana nti omuntu ayogera ku bigendo obubi enemy wange lwaki ebigendo obubi obyogerako. And it starts from home, by the way. Your mother doesn't think you have the right to talk about the bad things she's doing. Your father doesn't think you have the right to say about the bad things that he's doing. If you say so, you are against him. If you say so, you are against her. It starts from home. At home, my kids can say the things that are not going right, and I have no problem with them. Okitegeera nze nabanyumiza banzaalukuka lwakwogera ku bibi bikolebwa. Okitegeera olinaga toddamu nakwogera nange. I'm not related to you anymore because you have said you have showed other people that I'm doing wrong. And then my question was, are you doing wrong? And then the person said, no matter, you have no right to talk about what's the gay, right? And yeah, so that's what is happening anyway. I'm sad because we all feel that we don't have a right to talk about the things that are going wrong in a country where we have been made to believe apparently that we have freedom of speech. If someone was taken for abusing, I would want to understand, but even then I don't want to understand. I don't. Me, I find that omuntava out of the blue na akuvuma. I'll give you an example. The environment on TikTok is different from the environment on YouTube. And sometimes I go overboard and I am harsh to the people on TikTok. But I can tell you I've never been abused by someone on TikTok. But they have never abused me. So it's very hard to find someone ngamanaga kuvuma out of the blue. It's very hard. Ona chukan no attacks. Rubura Chris Fitness, good morning. Nathan, we would still be under colonial rule if our forefathers didn't take a stand to fight for our country's independence. President Antonio, guys, kamba sibule mwewa linyo kubera ku broadcast. What the broadcast ewedeko ngimazemu kumanyi olwa the kind of condition yetulimu nti we gave up. We gave up. Like we are not even talking about what border no mulaba. A drop is omusabaze makati mu. Alimo gaba change. Twine mirembe. So waboda drop is omusabaze makati mu kubo. Nata nko gaba change gwe. Egala kuntomera mulabe. Tomanyi moto ko yagala tomera bantu. But guys, kamba sibule kanete ko kuddu ko tuka bwento luva mu moto kantandikirawo misinde. Nathan, bye. Bye. Amosi, Nathan yakuzemu naye kyakuzemu nze nkivuddeko nze ngeze. Ngeze mukama abawo omukisa.